Well, good morning, family. It is 4 minutes past the hour. Welcome to JD Live, hashtag Truth Be Told. The road show is in full effect as we are broadcasting live from Fresno, California. As we are out here getting ready for the weekend. Got here yesterday on 9/11. Did not do a show on 9/11 because we were traveling. So I want to start the show off a little differently today. Yesterday was a day of reflection, a day that will go down in the history of America as probably one of the most tragic days of America's history and what occurred on 9/11. Thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who remembers that day, those who lost their life on that day, the heroes that rose on that day, in that day in general. I also have to start off this day also saying that tragically, because I had a person inbox me and said, I'm sure that Charlie Kirk, you're going to say the reason he was assassinated was because of his rhetoric. I'm not really going to say anything. I'm going to say this. Nobody, I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your stance is in life. I don't care where you stand on the political scale, social economics, or if you're wealthy or poor. Nobody deserves to be murdered, to be assassinated, to be killed at the hands of an individual who has malice toward them because of anything that pertains to their life. Your life was not given to you by individuals with them the right to take your life. And I do not condone, nor do I agree with, in any shape, form, or fashion, any type of violence that is provocated because of a person's social economics, because of their political views, because of their religious views, because of their social views. The United States of America, and this is the founding fathers and how they constructed things when they first got here. This place was founded on free speech and values. Those values are simple, but I will not glorify Charlie either, because Charlie had a lot of bad things to say about people who look like me and people who came from my background. So though I do not condone, and my prayers, thoughts and prayers goes out to Charlie's followers, Charlie's family, nobody. I am 58 years old, and no man in his 30s with children that are growing up who will now be fatherless due to a senseless act of gun violence. Now that I've got that out to the side, and I'm really not going to say a lot about that, 7 minutes past the hour, we black and brown folks didn't have nothing to do with that. And I am completely on this 12th day of September. And I got brothers jumping in, and I'm getting ready to bring them in because I'm never in here by myself. I am completely flabbergasted and upset right now that HBCUs are being put on lockdown. HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities all over the United States of America, are getting threats of violence against them. We had absolutely nothing to happen. We had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk out in Utah. That, my friend, was white on white crime. Black folks had absolutely nothing to do with that. So 8 minutes past the hour. I don't have applause, bells, or anything because I'm on the road. I'm in sunny California, but I ain't by myself. Let me bring in first from MI, Yayo, my brother. Brother Bowtie is in the building. Brother Bowtie said he'll clap for himself. My brother, how you doing, my friend? How you doing out there?
Man, all is well, man. Just on pins and needles, watching this situation quite close to see how it plays out. That about it. Hoping that my family and everybody else family out the way and safe. I think this might get a little ugly though, Joe.
Yeah, I got a sad feeling that it may. You're not in here by yourself. Let's bring in our brother who's broken Berlin, brother Jason Washington. Brother Jason, I am right now hitting the air horns and clapping for you also, man. It's good to have you on board.
I appreciate it.
It is 9 minutes past the hour. And I want to say that again. I started the show off, first of all, talking about 9/11. 9/11 was yesterday. We didn't have a show yesterday. I was traveling to California. Share this with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. We back in the building. I had to come in today because I'm really disturbed about a few things. And I had to talk about Charlie Kirk, but black folks had nothing to do with what happened with Charlie Kirk. Most black folks, believe it or not, until he was assassinated, we're going to use that word, or until he was killed. Most black folks didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. Let's just be real about it. So
Yeah.
to have now that we've got our schools, our historically black colleges, university having non-melanated folks threaten destruction on our schools is bothersome to me, because that shouldn't be happening. That just shouldn't be happening. We had absolutely nothing to do with what happened in Utah. Once again, as you talk about black on black crime, Utah was white on white crime. They haven't found the shooter yet, but from all the footage that they're showing on all the media outlets, conservative and progressive, it seems to be this person was very proficient with weapons, was able to scale his way down from a very high building and blend in with the crowd and disappear. So once again, that person needs to be caught. That person needs to be held responsible for the heinous crime that person committed. But I don't believe that was a black person. I don't think black people have anything to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk.
We know that, Joe.
Good morning, gentlemen. Y'all talk. Floor is yours.
If we just put the facts out there, Joe.
Right.
I don't know if anybody know much about Utah, but there's only one Democratic city in Utah, and that's Salt Lake City. And they have less than 40,000 black people in that city as a whole. So I know for sure where he was at, there I don't think there was one black person there. But if it was, so be it. But what I think what happened, Joe, and I just made a post not too long ago. Last night they made a news footage of white man fight back, white man fight back. And I said, well, they finally admit that it's white on white crime. But I think what the issue will end up happening being, Joe, I think that they will probably find a small town where blacks at and probably do another Rosewood.
Well, I pray that doesn't happen. Once again, I don't condone violence.
Well, they savages. They had to release their anger somewhere.
I don't condone, because at the end of the day, we too as black and brown folks have did some savage acts. If I look, so I'm talking from a humanistic point of view. And y'all give it up for the Arthur, my Lamar Burton, who tells everybody that reading is fundamental. And listen, if you would read some of the books that Sean tell you to read, you would find out that this behavior that has so many people so appalled all of a sudden on the 12th day of September, this behavior is not benign to what happened. At the end of the day, this man, once again, I'm not here to criticize him. I'm not here to belittle him. The man is dead, and he died tragically. And no man, no black man, no white man, no Asian man, no man with antennas on his head shooting laser beams should die in the manner that man died. No man should die like that. However, I'm not going to hear and celebrate the man when the man had no love for black and brown men like myself. This is the man that said Ketanji Brown, Michelle Obama, Joy Reid, he named a whole plethora of black women. He said these women came and stole white people's jobs. What are you saying? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like I like this man. No, I don't know this man, but the rhetoric I have seen the man spew out is not the rhetoric I condone or the rhetoric I sit on the side of. And I wish he was still alive where we could talk to him, because at the end of the day, I don't think no man should die because of what he said.
But there's
John,
two
good
things.
morning. How you doing, my brother? We're gonna clap and ring bells for you. I ain't got all my apparatuses. I'm in California. Good morning. How you doing, Sean?
What's going on? What's going on, family, man? Coming on to this very, very serious topic, it's no coincidence. The book I have right here is called Long Island and the Legacy of Eugenics, right? So I have this author coming on the podcast next Friday, Sean P. Experience, right? But you see in this book the long history since the late 1800s of the people that have the ideology of certain people don't deserve to be here. Certain people are docile and feeble-minded. Certain people are bad for the population, and we got to get rid of them, right? That was the rhetoric they were spewing whenever they were creating the concept of eugenics and how they control who deserves to be here and who don't, how they control the population, right? And we see that these concepts are alive and well right now, today, in today's society. Even the current president is spewing certain rhetoric about certain people are born uncivilized and unbehaved, that we got to control them. So these things ring through time and time again. And then inside this book, Joe, you see how many multi-billionaires back then was funding this stuff. You see how many prominent people was pushing this propaganda in the schools, in the textbooks, in the movies, in the literature at that time. And now we're still seeing it going on today.
That part.
It's like the conversation I think me and you had 2 days ago about, you shouldn't really let like a death get you so animated. And it's one thing to not care that he passed, but it's another thing to celebrate that he's passed. And I think that what's happening in our community is that because a lot of Black people are so aligned with the Democratic Party and then also the LGBT community, that they've put brown skin onto this internet space of Black people celebrating his death. Even though most Black people don't care about Charlie Kirkland, I mean, most of us didn't. The online narrative is Black people are celebrating his death. So there's alchemy in that. It's the same way that I think a lot of Black men felt when they saw a lot of Black women celebrating Kevin Samuels passing away. And I think it's the same sort of energy where it's like there was a lot of men who were very angry at the Black women in the community because it's like, wait, like, like you're celebrating his and the women were like, well, he said this, and now it's kind of the same thing that's happening with this, where it's like the white people are trying to say like, hey, he didn't, and then all the Black people online and then all the people from the LGBT community and all the like the really liberal people, they're like, well, he said this. My thing is this: public speaking is one of the hardest things for a majority of people on a global space to do. What he did, whether you believe in what he said or not, is he held his nuts and he went to a college campus and had these discussions. There's many times that I see in this Black manosphere space that all these people are having these arguments with women. And I'm like, it's been 4 years of this. Why aren't we going to Black college campuses where the indoctrination is happening and having conversations in the same way that Charlie Kirkland was? Well, why can't we do that? Why are we afraid to do that? And a lot of people are afraid to put their, I don't want to say money where their mouth is, but to actually go in real time and debate people's ideologies. That's what college universities are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be echo chambers.
Jace, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to throw it over to brother Bowtie. The sad thing is the reason a lot of folks and you are putting your life on the line, and I'm going to be very honest. Charlie put his life on the line every time he did this, because once again, when you spew rhetoric that is far right or far left, you bring people on board that do not like you and people who may have malicious intent to harm you or your family. Not only was Charlie putting himself on the line, he was putting his wife and kids on the line, because in these days and time, people with malicious intent, they don't care. They don't care. Now, I will say this. And this is from, and Sean and I think can relate to this because we're both ex-military. Whoever shot this man was a professional. That wasn't no rookie.
Bro,
You got to understand.
100 yards?
200.
200.
200. 200 yards. One shot didn't hit. Hold it. Yeah. There was not multiple shots that rang out. It wasn't a mass shooting. It was a precise assassination shot to one individual and one individual only. Now, I'll say this. I've had the opportunity to see the video. That is what we call the kill shot. That is what we call in the military the classic sniper kill shot. And like I said, I'm not here to make laughing jokes about Charlie, what Kirk thought about, listen, the same way, and I'm not here to compare him to Martin Luther King, and I'm tired of folks doing that online. I'm not here to compare him to John the Baptist of Jesus. I'm not comparing the man to nobody. Sadly, he is a white man that appears to have been assassinated by another white man over what he was saying. And that's not right. You should be able to have your opinion, feel how you feel, say what you say, and be able to live, period. And at the end of the day, what bothers me more than anything else is to see black and brown folks that he spoke against, as you say, carrying the Stephen mantle of Candy, Monsieur Candy dead. Monsieur Candy dead. Guess what? I didn't even know who this guy was until he died.
Well, I didn't know.
Just give me 15 seconds to finish up. Just give me 15 seconds to finish up.
Yeah, come on, brother.
There's one thing that Joe,
Brother Washington, go ahead.
I'm forgetting. This person was such a professional that he was not nervous. He was there, very comfortable, listening to the speech because the timing of the shot is so. No, this person had audio of what he was saying because it was like as soon as he said, look, coincidences are very rare. And to have the kill shot be at that precise moment when, what were his last words?
Gang violence.
That person is like, perfect time. That person was not worried about anyone seeing him. That person was completely comfortable where they were before that shot happened. It wasn't like somebody was looking around and no, this person was in a place. This is beyond professional. And I'll land that there.
So I think I want you brothers to know that I love you guys. I really do. But you guys might feel some kind of way at some things that I'm about to say. And I'm reading some of the comments and listening to what you guys saying. And I get it. Freedom of speech should always be, our right. It's a constitutional right. We have a right of freedom of speech and express ourselves. But Joe, you often say when they do it, it's cool. When we do it, it's a problem. Right. Joe, if we do some of the rhetoric that he do, as Brother Washington was saying, why we won't go to HBCU campuses, why we won't go to PWI campuses, I guarantee you we'll be charged with exciting a riot just by rhetoric what we speak.
You're right.
And I'm not celebrating it, but I think the problem is that what most white Americans have, or what most people have, is that we don't have any empathy. And that's cool. We shouldn't have empathy. I'm like how I see it, that's one less oppressor to speak against me or speak against my family or stop the United States from progressing and treating everybody equal. That's one less person speaking against other cultures and other races. Now, I'm not celebrating, I'm not clapping, I'm not saying, hey, let's start a GoFundMe for the shooting. That's not what I'm doing. And I'm not even advocating violence. The thing is that we have to understand that how this thing really played out. And the chicken just came home to roost. If he was never speaking like that, if he was never talking like that, there's so many options. All four of us, every day we got choices. We got a choice to be on this podcast. We can go cook, we can go for a jog, we can go for a walk. We can even choose to speak life, or we can speak abundance. However we choose to. He chose to create more enemies for himself than he chose to create more friends or more peace for himself or for his life. So it was a white man that killed him, right? That shot.
Uh, we
So
don't know
allegedly.
now. We don't know
Allegedly.
100% because
All
they
right,
haven't caught
supposedly.
the assailant.
I'm gonna say
But we know
95%
for
though.
sure.
I'm
We know
gonna
for
go
sure. There's no
95%.
black people in that area.
Right.
So,
But the
so
chances
if
are
we was
better
a
than
betting
good.
man, if we was a betting man, Joe, I'm a poor man right now, but I'll put $1.5 million. He don't look like us.
I agree with Brother Sean. You were about to say something. Come on in, Brother Sean. Say what you need to say, my friend.
And you know this as well, Joe, and maybe Brother Bowtie. As public speakers, right? I can't go drive down the UL campus 20 minutes away and go on that college campus talking a certain way about black matters in a certain kind of a way and a certain kind of rhetoric and a tone of my voice. I would have a hard time even getting booked at that university. I can't go to LSU campus an hour away and do stuff like that. I probably can't go to Southern campus and talk a certain kind of way. It's so difficult even getting into the door, let alone them going over your content, going over your subject matter. They be like, you can't come over here doing that. So how could this man go around all these universities talking like this? That's my first line of questioning, like,
Well,
how did this even happen?
Sean, we got to
I
be
can't do that.
real.
You
And
can't
I
do that.
keep
Because
saying
it's a college university, you have to
Sean.
have the opposite. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sean, I done said it, and people, you can get as mad as you want to about it. We're in a climate where if it's white, it's all right. If it's brown, you can stick around. But if it's black, it's got to stay back. And we've got to we as black folks got to embrace what's really going on right now. That
you said we should always stay back, Joe?
Watch this though. Listen to what I'm saying. I didn't say that we had to. My mama told me it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. We have to be real about this is the climate we're in. It doesn't mean we have to conform to the climate, but we have to be real because watch this, that they locked down yesterday on 9/11, they locked down 15 historically black colleges and universities due to what happened in Utah and due to the threat that was looming of violence on those campuses. What did black folks have to do with what happened to Charlie? I'll wait. What do black folks have to do? What did we have to do? Was it, hold it. Are we the target of a lot of his propaganda and a lot of his rhetoric and speech? Yes, we are. But was there black folks there rioting, picketing, protesting? And was there a black man on the roof that squeezed the trigger that killed a man? I think not. But the day after all this, you got white folks. You had a white man show up to I'm with Southern University right now in California. And let me say this, don't come to the game clowning because they know and precautions are being taken right now because it seems to be there is all of a sudden a siege on black folks because of what happened to Charlie. We didn't have nothing to do with what happened to Charlie. So why all of a sudden are our universities under attack? Or was this baiting from those who wanted to go ahead and say, look, we're going to use
now
this
we have a reason.
as the catapult to all of a sudden it's y'all fault. It's y'all the ones who did it. No, we didn't do nothing. We had absolutely nothing to do with this
you can't say we didn't do nothing, sir. We can't say we didn't do anything.
Go ahead, my friend.
Again, when it happened, we shouldn't have mourned it, but we shouldn't have celebrated it. And because we shouldn't have mourned him passing, but we shouldn't have celebrated it either. That's my point.
Hold it. Some celebrated it, Jason. I didn't even know.
It's more than some. It's more than some online.
Some of us celebrated it, and of course, the propaganda machine will propagate and make it look like it's more than it really was. I'm going to be very honest with you. I had a person inbox me and say, oh, I'm sure that the reason Charlie died was because of what he said. I don't know why Charlie died. You got to ask the assassin why he squeezed the trigger. I don't know. And guess what? I haven't made a post about Charlie. I haven't made a show about Charlie. And this is the most you're going to hear me talk about Charlie because I don't know Charlie. But from what I do know, he ain't the type person I want to discuss anything with, debate with, or have a conversation with, because what he is only trying to do is make you feel like you dumb, ignorant. And the only reason you're where you're at is because you stole somebody's white spot. The only reason we have this podcast is because some white person is supposed to be on here with a podcast, but DEI got Joe and his motley crew on here doing a podcast. Come on, man. I don't talk to people
he's made most of his money actually debating about the LGBT community. and the white people are too afraid to have the fight with them. So they'll go ahead and pick on us because they know that they have power over us anyway. If they really were mad about the people who probably did this, it's more than likely the left liberal LGBT community side. Even the person that probably even pulled the trigger is probably aligned with that section. But white people in general are not able to have that fight with them. They'll go ahead and have that fight with us.
Hold
But
on,
I don't
I'm gonna
think
make you
it's.
laugh about something.
I think
The,
we're
the,
not
the
the
guy
only
who
enemy.
now we not wanting to tell the truth about it, but see if it comes out that just like the young man who tried to assassinate Trump, he had no connection to the Democratic Party, Democratic views, or progressive views. He was really a Republican. So
Yeah, he
once
was a
again,
Republican.
here's my question. If the person that they wind up finding, charging, and holding responsible for this crime, I don't call it an assassination, I call it a killing. But since they want to put him in the same category with Martin Luther King, that once again, the propaganda machine uses the word the assassination of. Let me say the following. Whoever killed him, if it comes to find out that this person was either white nationalist, because there's a lot of groups out there, he conservative, then what are you going to say? What are you going to say when you find out that this guy was just a person who was like, man, these guys are just talking. They ain't really about real action. I'm about real action. What happened? It has nothing to do with the Democrats, LGBTQ. What happened? This was just some crazy person who out there talking about, I can't wait till I kill this crazy boy because they don't know nothing.
Yeah. Then the same thing applies. We shouldn't be celebrating it and we shouldn't be mourning it.
Right.
But by us, we should be completely. What's that gift where somebody is sipping a tea? That's all we should have done. And because there's a lot of black people that are aligned with the propaganda machine on the LGBT side and on the liberal side, they put them on the forefront of the internet to spew all these things to make white people mad at black people in general. And that's why I'm happy. I'm happy they shut down the black colleges for that one day, because more than likely something possibly could have happened, which would have been 10 times worse. Shut it down. Shut it down for the next 3 days. Hell, shut it down for a week. If we think there's a threat.
Right.
Then,
and that's a good point. Brother Bowtie, go ahead. I want to answer this
when
question.
They're angry, they have the weaponry to do something massive on a black college campus if they want to. And it only takes a group of 10 of them to do something catastrophic. So I'm glad they shut it down for a little bit until they figure some shit out.
Hold it. So the question was asked about the Southern game and about black college games across the nation. I'm pretty sure that there will be heightened security. I'm pretty sure that there's heightened security across, like I said, we had 15 HBCUs yesterday that dealt with their campuses either being closed for a moment or closed for more than a moment because, and some are still closed because of the looming threat of violence, which we have absolutely nothing to do with.
Bethune-Cookman is closer to next week.
You know, so
I think that's nothing but smart.
But we're here, and we have a game. We have a game. Speaking about sports, it is 32 minutes past the hour. Elijah is going to break this up for a minute, and we're going to talk about sports because last night it seems to be Green Bay got them a gift from Dallas, and Green Bay looked like they're about to do something serious. So that's one team we didn't put into our equation. We were talking about, hey, these boys might be coming to play. Look like Green Bay is here to play. Y'all give it up for my man Elijah Nixon in the great state of Tennessee, the great city of Knoxville, Rocky Top. You'll always be home, sweet home to me. Elijah Nixon in sports. Let's go.
What's going on, fellas? Man, it's about to be a one of them type of weekends. Yes, Green Bay did look really they looked really good yesterday. Shutting down Washington, held in Washington with 2 touchdowns as of late. They didn't really give up that many. I think their statistics where they gave up 2 touchdowns in garbage time in the last 6 games. So the defense for Green Bay looked really good. And what they can do with Micah Parsons is man up on the outside and let 4 go rush or send an extra guy because they know your offensive line can't take everything. But last night, what I did take away from the game is they can stop the run. As you can see, Jerry Jones said Micah Parsons can't stop the run. They had signs up saying, "Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry." The fact that Micah Parsons looked like that and it's only week 2, he has 2 more weeks before his return. I mean, until they play Dallas, that's going to be something that I can't wait for. But what's your guys' opinion on what the whole ordeal is? You know, how good do you think Michael Parsons look? I know the Cowboys only play one game. We get to see another game coming up in these next few days. But what do you think about Michael Parsons and what he has done so far out there with the Green Bay Packers?
Man, he looked
He
great.
has an opportunity to be probably the best defensive person since Reggie White for the Green Bay Packers. If anyone's older and remembers Reggie White,
come on, from the University of Tennessee.
Okay. Reggie White was a staple, and the Dallas Cowboys gave the Green Bay Packers a staple. You can build around Parsons, and if they do this the right way and keep him healthy, this might end up being their Ray Lewis. This might be their Earl Thomas. This might be, because Green Bay's always had a decent defense, but they've never had a staple since Reggie White. And Dallas Cowboys gave them their staple.
I think the post game is pretty much all we need. Once you had the whole crowd stay just to scream, "My God, my God." Man, you couldn't even hear that post game interview because they're screaming his name so loud.
Come on. Hey, them boys, listen, them boys gonna be something serious and serious to be dealt with. In collegiate football, the question was asked by Marcus Allen, is Southern game canceled? No, Southern's game, there's no HBCU game canceled. I know there's probably going to be heightened security, and there should be at these games. But once again, this had absolutely nothing to do with us. My question is, did they cancel all the football games in Utah? Is the University of Utah not playing? See, once again, in family, I just want to say this. Sadly, we live in a country where guns have been a part of our culture since the foundation of this country. And you have to understand, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's the old saying. It's very cliche-ish, but that's the way folks feel. And you've got to ask yourself the following. I have a son in high school. How many high school shootings have we had this year? I'll wait.
We had one the same day.
Hold on.
The same day he got shot.
I'll wait. Hold on. This is the crazy thing. All of a sudden, people are flying flags at half staff, and people are acting like this is a martyr and all this. When the two Democratic individuals got killed and murdered at their house, did we lower all the flags around the United States of America at half staff? So right now, here's the crazy thing. Certain folks are trying to make it seem like the only people who are victims of violence are white conservatives. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's completely a lie. And if you let the propaganda machine fool you into believing the only people getting hurt in this world are white conservative Christians, you're crazy. And that's why I don't want to go too deep into this.
How many black people have died expressing their freedom of speech?
Some folks are going to be real mad at me. But at the end of the day, I don't even want to give it my time or my effort, because once again, I didn't know who the hell Charlie Kirk was until he died.
And how many black people have died from the hands of other black people just speaking their mind? Many.
Hold it, stop. So black people have died at the hands of white people just speaking their mind. So since they want to talk about,
I'm just speaking about how it's white on white, and how there's many times in the black community where you can say something, because we say we have free speech, but you also have freedom of speech to get shot the fuck up. And there's many times in our community when we're speaking with black people, and you say something and a black person kills you, we have freedom of speech, but you also have freedom to get shot the fuck up. So we as black people, we understand that you can say something and somebody of your same complexion might not like it and end up killing you. Same thing. And we mourn that, but they don't mourn us when that happens. So why should we be mourning him when that's a white on white? Hey, we die every single day with black people when somebody is just trying to say something. And it happens every single day. Now, it happened on that side in Utah.
I ain't never seen a president in the Martin Luther King parade. I'm just gonna say
you ain't never seen a what?
A president in the Martin Luther King parade, Dr. Martin Luther King parade.
Oh,
so pretty much saying they don't mourn, they don't have empathy for us. They don't
mourn
and
us. When you really think about
it, forgive me, it's just my little militant mind kicking in right now. But they actually celebrate things like this, like within their culture. Like I'm thinking about things now. If they don't celebrate like the Alamo, they turn that to a whole tourist attraction of the 1,000 Mexicans that they killed. When you think about Thanksgiving, every year they push Thanksgiving. think about what it was like over 8.5 million Indians that got killed on Thanksgiving Day on the second Thanksgiving, but they created a whole holiday around it to celebrate it. And I know most of us are uneducated about it, but these people celebrate they savage
Yeah.
ways or they militant ways or whatnot, and they want us to have empathy towards them. And trust me, if we knew them personally, and I said this last week, Joe, on your show. If I know a police officer personally, or if I know a white person personally, then I'm cool with that person. I'm cool with that police officer. I'm cool with that white person. But I still have an overall view of how I view law enforcement.
Well, watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna make you laugh. Douglas Guidry, and I want to get to Brother Elijah because I know he got to go soon, and ask him what upsets do you see coming in college football this weekend? Because there may be some more upsets. To get into that, and let me take this down.
Oh, go ahead, Elijah. My bad.
But I want to say this, and I want to say this very clearly to folks. This is what really gets me. We sound really very, in my opinion, a lot of us sound very Stephenish, very Mammy-ish, and here's why. Understand something. When our leaders die, when our leaders are killed, assassinated, when our leaders are crucified and put to the litmus test of what Charlie was put to, the outcome comes out very different. You don't have flags being raised at half staff. You don't have yesterday while I was on the flight, the steward is saying, let's take out a moment of silence for 9/11 and Charlie. You don't hear their names. You don't hear black and brown names when black and brown folks. They didn't say let's take a, I flew the same day that Sarah Bland got murdered. And nobody said let's take a moment of silence for Sarah Bland and her murder. Trayvon Martin, nobody said let's take a moment of silence for Trayvon Martin. When Black Sunday happened and dogs were sicked on us, they don't come out and nationally say let's take a moment of silence. Once again, we had absolutely nothing to do with this. I'm completely appalled that 15 HBCUs are on high alert. If not every HBCU in the nation is on high alert because of threats of violence, and we had absolutely nothing to do with what happened. With that being said, Elijah, what upsets are we going to have in college football this weekend?
Rocky Top.
A bunch of upset white people. No. Sorry.
Rocky Top. Yeah, I got Georgia this week, right?
We gonna beat Georgia? You telling me that we gonna beat Georgia?
I got us read. Listen, history will not rewrite itself. I think the last time Tennessee beat Georgia was in 2016 off a Hail Mary pass. That's when Butch Jones was the coach. I don't think history repeats itself. I could say this as a reporter. I think Josh Heupel lost to Georgia by double-digit points for the last 4 or 5 years that he was a coach. 4 years that he was a coach. Mm-hmm. It wasn't close. It was not close at all. They have beaten them by double digits. They have gave them boys heck. But I think this week things will change. I think Saturday, Josh Heupel will get his first win against Georgia. I predict Tennessee fans going to storm the field. I predict you will see cigar smoke in that Neyland Stadium by the fourth quarter.
They're going to take the goalpost back down to the river like they did against Alabama?
Back to the river. I think that goalpost is going back to the river.
So I'm going to say something that Bowtie is going to love.
Yeah, I know. You got us for the
Beware of Wounded Gators showing up in Death Valley, because the big upset could be LSU getting beat by Florida.
What time is that kick?
I don't know. I got to look and see because I'm out here and like right now it is 4:42 in the morning. So I woke up at 3:00 in the morning to do this show because it's a 2-hour difference. It's actually 4:42 in the morning here in California, and the weather is immaculate. I will say that. And but I don't know what time the kick is. But I tell you something: beware of Wounded Gators on the bayou, because Wounded Gators can be dangerous. And I hate to say it, I want LSU to win. I'm a big LSU fan, but man, they better be careful. Napier might come in and ruffle up the water, because that's how he kept his job last year. He lost games that pissed him off, but he won games that people say you can't deny he didn't beat this team that he should not have beat.
I got to run and get ready to pick my son up. It's Friday, so I'm getting him out of school early. But can you pull up Sean on the big screen real quick before I go?
Okay. Okay, why you want me to put Sean in solo mode?
No, just solo real quick for Sean before I get out of here. Sean,
Okay.
you're a very educated man. You're an awesome writer, and you're a very good person. But I need you to not wear orange like this anymore. You looking like you live streaming from the county. Okay, so I'm just saying, I love orange too, but I'm just letting you know, like, look, it looks bad for us. Okay, you got.
Hey. Orange is the new black. Hey, Jace, with that being said, I know you got to go and do your father thing, and I respect you, man. Give us some closing words before you get up out of here, man.
Like I said, there's no need for us to celebrate it. There's no need for us to mourn it. It has nothing to do with us. Us getting triggered and us even getting into the arguments online is what led to these college campuses being shut down in the first place. Again, the Harlem thing, mind yours. It ain't our business. We shouldn't be celebrating it. We shouldn't be mourning it. We shouldn't be reveling in it because it has nothing to do with us. Whether you are happy or whether you're sad, doesn't matter. Us going online and talking shit to the oppressors about it is only going to give us more consequences. Leave it be. It has nothing to do with us. And Joe, please throw me some videos of California when you're out and just seeing beautiful things. Just throw me some videos of it because I miss it so much and I appreciate it.
I will, bro. I think we're going to do some redwoods today, man. I appreciate you and all that you do, man.
Please send me as much videos of the redwoods as you can get. Photos, videos, all of it. I used to firefight out there, and it is heaven on earth.
Okay, I definitely will do that, my brother. We appreciate you, man. Tell your son nothing but love for him, man. Keep being the great man, the great father you are. We'll see you next week, man.
All right.
Gone. All right. So, Elijah, I know you got to get out of here too. It is 15 minutes to the top of the hour. Go ahead, Sean. Say what you need to say, man.
Elijah with the sports, man. One of the biggest fights in probably a decade is going on this weekend. Crawford versus Canelo. Are you covering or are you watching the boxing match in your sports analysis?
I wish I could, man. I know that's a big fight. I think Crawford's gonna beat the brakes off that dude. But I got Crawford, man. I'm always gonna have Crawford. I got Crawford always, man, always. But it depends, man. If I can get off in time, because that Georgia and Tennessee kick is at 3:30, and I'm there. And if we predict the way how we definitely gonna predict that if Tennessee wins that game, I probably won't be getting out of work till about midnight. So
right. They're gonna lose their mind in Knoxville, Tennessee. If Tennessee beats Georgia, it will be as big as when we beat Alabama. And somebody did put on there, beware of South Florida and Miami. Listen, South Florida is the real deal. Just like they beat Florida, they may wind up upsetting Miami. I think there's just going to be some real upsets this weekend. I just got that feeling in my spirit.
South Florida beat 2 top 25 teams this year. The opening season, they beat Boise State. That was 25. Then they went to go beat Florida. But let me tell you something. You only can sneak up for so long.
They never been a sorry team. They just never been a sorry team. I think a lot of people just underestimated South Florida because they're a new football program. But they forgot that, when their schools decided to have a football team, I think about 16 or 17 years ago, they actually recruited heavy only in Florida. So all thing that they was missing the whole entire time was most of the time was the O-line and D-line. So that's when they started recruiting from Texas and Alabama, get those big country boys. But as far as like they position skills, yeah, they gonna keep them weapons.
I want to tell y'all this story if I can. South Florida got this guy named Iverson Garcia that's from here, Knoxville. He's coming here next year. He had offers from Tennessee, everything. He chose South Florida. But originally he was a basketball player. He's a D-lineman. He was a basketball player. The head football coach went to his basketball game. And after the game, pulled him aside and said, "You're not a basketball player. You stink." And he was like, "This is what I want to do." He said, "No, you're not good at it. Come on the football field." Goes on the football field for like 2 years. South Florida calls, Tennessee calls. I forget some other schools. I think West Virginia calls. And I asked him after the game because we had to do it. I was like, "Was that a true story?" He said, "Yeah, I wasn't good. I just wanted to play because I just wanted to play basketball because I thought it was in my genes." But I guess Coach was right. Coach Lowe was right. And he pulled him off the thing, and now he got offers to go. And South Florida, where is he going? So,
all right. Well, Elijah, tell us about the Fifth Take. Tell us what you got going on. I know you got to get out of here, man. I know you're getting ready for the weekend like I am. Southern, and we are playing Fresno State, but Rocky Top will be rocking because Georgia will be in town. So all I can say is go Vols. Let's go.
Vols. That's what I can't wait for. I'm actually about to go out there Friday. I know College Game Day is already here. We got to do some live shots with them today. So we got to go out there and talk. I don't know how often we're going to see them, but I hope I could run into Marty White. But we got that today. Fitz Take podcast is still kicking off. We didn't get the player that we wanted. He got hurt last week and against the who did they play last week? Houston, Texas. He got hurt against the Houston, Texas last week, so we got to wait until he get healthy so we can get him on the Fitz Take podcast. But other than that, continue to like, share, subscribe. And we really appreciate you. Always thankful for coming on this platform, Joe. And I just want to say thank you again, man. And before I go Vols, baby. Go Vols, GBO, baby, GBO.
Hey, Rocky Top. I want to hear it so much. I hear it out here in California that I'm like, they always been home sweet home to me. Come on.
Are you going to In-N-Out while you out there before I go?
I'm going to Randy's Donuts today, and I'm gonna sit in the donut hole like my name is Iron Man. We're going to the Redwood Forest, and there's a lot of stuff we're going to do today. We went out yesterday to Fresno, to the city of Fresno, which is, this is gold country. It's an old, like the old West, old Spanish, this used to be Mexico. At the end of the day, we had really a good time. So it's nice out here. The weather is immaculate. That's all I can say. And the weather is immaculate. So looking forward to seeing California and looking forward to a festive game tomorrow as Southern takes on Fresno State. So, they got a nice little stadium. I look forward to being in that stadium and doing my thing.
Bring me some gold, Joe.
Say what?
You think you'll pull off the upset?
I think we can beat Fresno. I really do. I really do. I believe. Listen, I believe we can beat them. I have to believe that.
You talking about halftime?
Hold it. I believe Southern has been beating themselves. I'll just be honest with you. Southern has way too much talent to be playing the way they're playing right now. And I don't think it has to do a lot with coaching as much as it does with the players who have to just understand we have to execute. And I said what I said. Elijah, appreciate you, man. You be blessed. We'll see you on Monday, man. We'll have a lot to talk about. Be good, my friend. So back to 3 the hard way. We got 3 brothers in here, and we're going to do it 3 the hard way as soon as I can find my right thing to put us 3 the hard way. There we go. 3 the hard way. Listen, family.
You know what, Joe, I have to be honest with you, Joe.
Talk to me.
Only thing that I have 2 issues with the Charlie Kirk thing. One, it took away from yesterday. I think yesterday was a very important moment.
It did. Sadly, it did.
I was in 9th grade when 9/11 happened. And I remember all my life, I never thought that, there was a problem or an issue. But 9/11, the impact was so serious. And I was in Miami at school, that the whole school was quiet. And they had the guy who was over the JROTC to get on and speak about the military of the United States and everything. And at that moment, that's when I started taking politics serious, my community serious, even my country serious. But I think we robbed, the victims of 9/11 yesterday. And we still have victims still to this day that survive and that suffer from 9/11. All those firefighters, all those police officers, they inhale a lot of toxins, so they end up with cancer or lung disease or heart problems and stuff like that. And we didn't give them the proper attention or respect. I went through a lot of channels yesterday because ever since 9/11 happened, I always been tuned in on TV to watch the ceremonies. And there wasn't many ceremonies being shown. But what was shown yesterday, what I said, this is my other problem, was J.D. Vance helping the military give Charlie Kirk, I guess, the beginning of a military burial, just to find out that he's not even in the military, never served his country at all.
That man was never in the military. Because that's what turned him into creating the political juggernaut of an organization. He did. He was denied to go to West Point. He didn't try to reapply. He decided to go to this direction. Listen, like I said, before yesterday, most Black folks did not even know who Charlie was. Nobody even cared who Charlie was. And yes, he was going around making his millions on these college tours, doing what he did. And listen, if that's what he felt like he was called to do, what God told him to do. Who am I? Who am I to judge or tell him not to do that? But at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, there is a cost to everything you do. And this man paid the ultimate sacrifice. He paid with his life because of his rhetoric. And at the end of the day, I'm not happy at all that the man got murdered, because I'm not happy when anybody gets murdered. That's wrong. And whoever murdered him should be held responsible. But I think there's more to this than meets the eye. If you watch the video that's out right now, this guy scaled. If you watch this guy scale down from that building, that's a professional. That's not no amateur. That ain't no
military
rookie, that ain't
training.
no fly by night. That the way he scaled down from that building, shoot, I've seen people scale down from buildings like that before. When I was in Iraq, Afghanistan,
I
Somalia,
just said, Joe.
I've seen people scale down buildings like that before, and they were mostly professionals who guess what? They were trained in 200 yards. Let me tell you something. One shot from 200 yards is not easy, family. It's not
You know, Joe,
easy.
I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt because, I tell you, like, I like to fish and hunt. And, me and my sons, we hunt rabbits a lot. You got to have a good shot. So I say, well, maybe this guy go deer hunting or rabbit hunting. But when I seen him scale that building, I say, not most hunters are athletic like that. We like to just lay down or just sit in the tree and, wait on our prey to run by or walk by, stuff like that. I said, nah, this guy got some military training. Like if that's the guy, because I didn't see him with no gun. They just seen him jumping down no building. So,
Right.
But and it's just speculations, people.
Hey, and once again, this is what I gotta say. Family, let us be concerned about the well-being of our community as much as people have been concerned about the well-being of Charlie and what Charlie had to say with his rhetoric. Let us be as concerned about our fellow Black and brown brothers and sisters as they have been concerned about Charlie. Let us be as loving to one another and uplifting to one another. And once again, let me say this. I have no problem with anybody who's not Black and brown. At the end of the day, I have always been a human being. But here's the problem. They have not always been human beings to us. And that's just the facts and the truth. It is 4 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm just going to be real with y'all.
When they tell us to see past the color, Joe, or when they say why we can't just see past the color, well, I don't think we have an issue with the color. And I'm just going to be honest, Joe. Like, we're always open. When I mean, like, naturally, just Black people, we're always open to, like, trying to get to know you. Like, we walk in the store, like, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to see if you're gonna be friendly. I'm gonna give you the opportunity whether or not you want to come chill with me, hang out with me. Like, you could come to my barbecue, you could come to my hangouts. I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Now, based off your interaction, then I don't know where you stand at in life. But even with our freedom of expression, I don't like Bubba Dub. Bubba Dub, I don't know if you seen his live last night, but he got a lot of death threats. So many that he had to go live like 4 times yesterday. Even called the police, and it's a real situation. But he just stated his opinion. His opinion was an honest opinion like yours, Joe. Black people stay out of this.
Right.
White folks do what they want to do. But still, he was receiving death threats, and when he went live last night, he said, I don't have no problem with white people. I go to their barbecues, I don't eat their food, but I drink their beer. This is what he's saying, paraphrase what he's saying. He said, but that's your problem. That's not our problem. We know ain't no damn Black person. There's only one Black rapper that ever came out of Utah, and that's NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, no. NBA YoungBoy came out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
No, he's there now.
He fled to Utah. Right, and he lives in Utah because he feels like he's safe in Utah.
He's safe in Utah. Yeah.
Once again, man, let me and I don't want to go overtime, but I'm gonna have to on this one. Family, wake up. Dwayne Williams just put something up here, and I want y'all to really catch this. He said, respectfully and humbly, with all sincerity, why was every event be a comparison? Death by way of murder or being killed is wrong. I think we should focus on our feelings and what would God do or say in those moments. Okay. And the more we keep the black and white, the more distracted we become. Well, here's the problem with that, Dwayne. Sadly, brother, HBCUs are right now on high alert because we had absolutely nothing to do with what's going on with Charlie, but somebody done translated to what's going on with Charlie. And we've got to be wise enough and understand the following. And this is just my humble opinion. My humble opinion. We have to understand that when the dust clears, we can't be an scapegoat for folks who really wanted to kill black people in the first place. They just needed an excuse.
Yeah.
So yes, I have to talk about it because in reality, in my humble opinion, I am a father of black daughters, black sons. I have a black grandchild. And unfortunately, folks still see us as black and white. They don't see us as good and bad, rich or poor. They don't see us as intelligent, not intelligent. They don't see us as human beings. Everybody puts a label on somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
And right now, like I said, most of us, including myself, did not know who Charlie Kirk was until he was assassinated yesterday and killed and murdered yesterday. But because of the trickle down of all the rhetoric and the propaganda, now folks can't say, well, look, didn't he say this about Michelle Obama? Didn't he say this about certain black folks? Didn't he say this about Martin Luther King? They're comparing this man to Jesus, to John the Baptist, to Martin, and that's their right. You have the right to say what you want to say. No man or woman should die because of the rhetoric coming out their mouth if they're expressing their First Amendment right, freedom of speech. If that's their opinion and that's how they see it, they should be able to say how they see it and not be murdered. Nobody should, but unfortunately, Martin Luther King was murdered. Malcolm X was murdered.
The last,
okay,
I think
Emmett Till was murdered. You know, there's a lot of black folks who have been murdered, hung, killed. Listen,
even if they spoke about peace, they was assassinated.
Hold it. If we would pay as much attention to the well-being of ourselves, our families, our people, as we do pay attention to other folks. See, some of y'all hate being black. Y'all only want to be black because it's a thing of convenience. And I said what I said. And look, I'm not trying to come at anybody wrong or where they'd be like, oh, Joe crazy and Tim trying to call in. Tim, I'm going to bring you. I don't know if they can hear you. Talk to me, Tim. I'm going to see, can they hear you? Talk to me.
I just want to talk about it, but like you said, nobody knew the guy, bro.
Right.
But I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I'm a husband. You know, like you said, but my sympathy is with him. And the man said, you know, you all just said we gotta think what God's gonna do. So we're gonna do that, right? We're gonna do that because we God-fearing men. We're gonna do that with all our heart.
Amen. But
we gotta understand, brother, the wages of sin is death. The way that we live is the way that many of us gonna die, brother. You know, like I tell my wife every day, bro, and we talk about it every day, bro. Whether it be me or you or him or her or white or black, politician or Democrat, brother. If we do something, if we sow a good seed and we continue to sow a good seed, we're gonna continue to get a good harvest, bro. But if we continue to sow bad seeds, brother, just understand and bad energy. What we put out in the world, brother, we gonna get it. Whether it be today, whether it be tomorrow, or whether it be whenever, what we put out in the world, brothers, we're gonna get it. So we gotta be careful how we treat people, bro. And I like to say, but just looking at it, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing negative because I'm gonna put God first, and God's gonna control everything. And we gotta understand that God is in control of that, brother.
Well, you know, me. Okay, let me say this, Tim. I agree with everything. Like with Dwayne. Dwayne said, "I love you, Joe, but I respectfully disagree." And I understand. I don't know what you're saying, Dwayne, and I wish you would call in and kind of give me more expounding on what you wrote, because what I'm saying is real simple. Listen, I can't judge nobody. I pray that nobody ever wants to kill me because of something I said on this podcast. And I've been doing this podcast for 3 years. And I done said some stuff that I'm pretty sure has been quite challenging on the social, on the ethnic side, on the religious side. I'm sure there's some folks that would have been upset about what I said. But nobody should be so upset with me that they want to take my life because of what I said. And it was wrong whoever killed Charlie. And let me be honest with you. Let me be honest with you.
Joe, I'm reading the comments, Joe. I'm reading the comments.
Huh?
I said,
what'd you say, Brother Bowtie?
Oh, I said I'm reading the comments, right? And I keep saying why I got to be a black and white thing. Why I got to be a black and white thing. As I said, we didn't choose this. But if you really go back and look at that video, and it's a very gruesome video, but if you listen to his last answer, he was making a black and white thing. His
So
last two words was gun violence, and he was talking about black young men, how they this and how they that and that and like that, and you could cope. And he said we could get the gun violence, and that was it.
okay, Dwayne, you can call in. Call in. The phone number is 225-250-8770. Listen, Tim, I thank you for calling in. If you want to call in, call in. Tim, I love you, man. We'll talk later. Listen, I appreciate you for calling in, my brother. Okay.
And we don't make it a thing. I mean, and black people is not his only enemies. And I have to give. You didn't mention this, and most people didn't mention, but New Mexico was on lockdown yesterday as well, though.
Right.
But which is pretty much a Spanish or a whole full of immigrants, should I say, or whatnot. Most of the students there, but he attacked the immigrant, he attacked the Spanish, he attacked blacks. I ain't gonna say attack, but his rhetoric was against everybody that wasn't white. So we're not the only enemy that he had, but of course people want to put us on this because we didn't have empathy. But I got a lot of Spanish friends.
Look,
I stay in Miami. My Spanish friends ain't have empathy at all.
Right. Hold on. Right. It isn't. Listen, and I said this, and you can go back and look at podcasts. I said it. And Dwayne, once again, the phone number is area code 225-250-8770. 225-250-8770. It's actually my direct cell number. I want to say this. Right now, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of illegal immigrants in this country who are not black and brown, who visas have expired. Hold on, I'm gonna put it here, Dwayne. Let me do this. Watch the ticker, Dwayne. Here's the phone number. Phone number is running on the scroller. It's running on the scroller. Since you couldn't, there it is. It's running on the ticker. Just watch the ticker at the bottom. You can call that number. There are a lot of non-black and brown immigrants who are in this country illegally. You don't see ICE in mass hurting them up, getting them back to wherever they came from, be it South Africa, be it Europe, be it any country. You don't see the white migrants that are here illegally. Be it that, you don't even hear them talk about white migrants that are here illegally. Yeah. So hold on. Yeah. I assume this is Dwayne. Dwayne, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Okay, go ahead and expound on what you wrote, my brother.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Let me be very clear that where I'm coming from.
Yes, sir.
I believe as a black man, in our culture, it doesn't matter if the sun rises or doesn't. We will always find a way to compare it to what black people been through. When reality is, it does not matter how someone views us. What are we doing about it?
I concur. I concur with what you said. I agree with what you said, sir. 100%.
The words, and all I'm saying is, if we really, the reason why I say it's a distraction is because, truth be told, for the people that didn't know Charlie, if you didn't know Charlie, if you didn't even hear anything he had to say, you shouldn't even have a comment about it.
Correct. And hold it. And furthermore, our HBCUs who all went on lockdown, who some of us have nieces, nephews, cousins, family members, we have friends, spouses that work there, should not even have been involved in this because black colleges and universities had absolutely nothing to do with what happened in Utah with Charlie. Because most of us, as you said, since we had nothing to do about it, then why are we now on high alert because of it?
Well, but again, Joe, and I'm gonna go back to it, and again, this is I'm gonna pivot just a little bit, but follow me.
Mm-hmm.
We complained. There were people that complained when Barack was president.
Correct.
There were people that complained when Bush was president.
Correct.
There were people that complained when Clinton was in president. There are people that are going to complain when Trump is president. The point that I make when I make that comment is, regardless of who sits in the White House, what are you doing in your own house?
Correct. Hold it. But Dwayne, you're not saying nothing that we don't say on this podcast every day. You ain't saying, hold it.
Simply, Joe, all I'm I'm saying is simply what I have witnessed on social media. I have witnessed it. I can't say it for everybody else's timeline. What I have witnessed was people celebrating the death of a human. I don't care what the human did, because there's no way in the world that we can say God is our creator and then celebrate when God's creation is murdered.
Hey, right. And I concur with that. So let me ask you this, Brother Dwayne, since you're a black man like I am, didn't you see that same celebration when George Floyd was killed by other folks celebrating that George Floyd was dead? Did you not see that same celebration when Whithouse went to do what he did? Here's what I'm saying.
In fact, our current president called him a scumbag.
That's wrong. I gotta do wrong just to be
No, what I'm saying is we have to be just as vocal and call in when
we have to do that.
Hold on. Here's what I'm saying, Dwayne. Dwayne, if you felt compelled today, because this is the first time I've ever seen you on my podcast, I'll be honest with you. So if you felt today compelled to call in, to put the comment, and I respect you and love you, brother, but I feel like we should also be as compelled when something happens to somebody who looks just like us. See, right now, and I'm not trying to be ugly when I say this, here's what I'm trying to show. All of a sudden now, Charlie's dead. Everybody want to talk. You know, there's a problem. I'm mad because people. Okay, hold it. I'm mad because I see people. Hold on, watch this. I understand, but I'm saying this. I see that people are putting in comments, and I know you do. I love you, man. I'm just saying this is the first time I've seen you with comments and to call in. But here's what I'm saying. I see folks. Right, and you have been a guest on when in the beginning, right? Yeah, I know this, but listen to what I'm saying. I have a lot of folks now that are coming out speaking about Charlie, and I understand that, and they say I am appalled to see black folks celebrating this man's death. Were you same appalled when white folks were celebrating George Floyd dying? Because they did. They said the boy deserved to die. He was a crackhead. He was this. He was that. When black folks, when Trayvon Martin. White folks celebrated Trayvon Martin's death. They celebrated deaths of black folks. And I'm just saying.
I also see black people doing the same thing when black people die.
Right, hold it.
I see young kids killing each other, and I literally see other young kids of our race celebrating the death of killing another black person.
And I agree with that. But guess what? I see the same thing when white people do it too. See, the thing is, we exacerbate.
But do not all mass shooters, do not all Martin mass shooters do some kind of research?
Brother Bowtie, go ahead, hit me with a comment. What you got to say to Brother Dwayne?
Do not all current mass shooters attach themselves somewhere to some kind of mass shooter before? You will find out that these kids, they have written letters and they research and they studied the whole Columbine mass shooting and stuff like that. So that means they celebrate, they admire these people, they're idolizing people so they can repeat the same thing. Like, I don't think it's more of like, you know, something for us to look down on, rather someone celebrating someone not. I mean, like the Jewish, they have a Holocaust celebration every year for the people who survived the Holocaust. And it just so happened it's around the same time of Hitler's death. We don't tell the Jewish people to stop celebrating. We haven't stopped celebrating Thanksgiving yet. People still go to the Alamo for tourist attraction. People still go to slave plantations for tourist attractions. You know how many slaves was hung?
So let me say this, 12 minutes, and I can't stay that long because, like I said, I'm out here in California. My prayers go out. Listen, I have thoughts and prayers for anybody who has suffered at the hands of senseless gun violence. I don't care if you're black, brown, green, blue, purple with antennas on your head. But at the end of the day, I think we all have to, as you said, Brother Dwayne, begin to do what's right by ourselves inside our own family structures and begin to build a utopia, starting first with self, then going branching out from there. Because just like on the flight I was on yesterday, they said, if in case things get kind of crazy here and some things pop down, put yours on first. We got to start really taking care of ourselves first, in my opinion. And man, I love you. Thank you for calling in. And I'm going to give you some final comments, man. So I'm going to be quiet. Do you have some final comments before we get up out of here? I'm going to let you first, Dwayne. Go ahead. Say what you need to say, my brother.
The only thing that I would say is, regardless of what happens in life, I think the first thing that we look at when we wake up in the mirror, is we look at ourselves. We must always make sure that we are operating with a spirit of integrity and transparency. We must always be trying to be the best version of ourselves. We should go to therapy. We should be healed.
Mm-hmm.
We should never want bad on anyone. We should operate out of spirit of love, period. And, you know, again, we're going to come across people that do not like us for various reasons, right? It's how we respond. It's how our kids watch us respond. It's how our families watch us respond. Accountability is by far the most important thing that we should be holding ourselves accountable.
I applaud you. Yes, sir.
That's all I have to say. But again, Joe, love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Love you, man. I appreciate that. And you're welcome to call in, come in anytime, man. Dwayne, you my dude, man. This is a very successful black man. I definitely want you to come back on and we talk about some of your businesses and how people can support you, because I'm big on us supporting our own.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Love you, brother. Be good. Be good.
Yes, sir.
So family, look, I stayed a little bit longer. Like I said, go ahead, Sean. Talk to me.
Before we leave, I want to highlight one major point as the psychology major person, right? Remove Charlie from the topic. Remove his name and his whole thing off the topic, right? We live in a death culture, meaning so many people were so eager to send me a video of a man getting shot. Why do you think I want to see that? Whenever all these other killings happen, why do you think in your mind, you at your house, oh, let me sit at the brother bow tie right quick. Why do you think? Why would I want to psychologically talk to somebody else and send you a video of a human being life leaving their body? Let's talk about that topic. Forget about Charlie. Forget that. Let's talk about the death cause. Like the man just said it. You do have young black men making music and celebrating. Damn, somebody died. Somebody's child died, and they're celebrating. A person like Charleston White going online with this big old audience he have, laughing and making jokes and making foolery. I would never. If a certain important person, I ain't saying no names online, if they was to die today, I'm not celebrating that. I don't care if I disagree with that particular person's ideas and rhetoric. I don't play with death, Joe. My worst enemy. I'm not going to dance and celebrate and make memes. I'm not sharing nobody's death online. So I'm going to leave it at that for my little take. But that really, really bothered me in our culture. We want to pass around death. Like it's a video game. All this Call of Duty, all these games, all respect. We have been desensitized to death.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Sean, what you just said.
I think it's more the country. Like we're the most violent country there is. You know, they try to propaganda us and show us videos of other countries like this country is bad, but America is a very, very violent country. Like America was created off of violence. I mean, like they was actually labeled as terrorists, you know, when they first formed this country or whatnot, like, and they just so happen to always endorse it and, you know, create violence every year. They took over most countries with violence. So we became so numb to it. But I do wonder, though, if they took away all the guns, would we be a violent country still, though?
Well, let me say this. I've lived in countries where the people, the citizens of the country cannot legally own guns. And they still have police, they still have crime, they still have murders, and they still have problems. They might not have it at as a higher rate as we do, but still, people who will do malice and evil don't need guns to do malice and evil. They will do malice and evil by any means necessary. And we have to get that in our heads. Go ahead, Sean.
Brother Washington over there in London, right? Brother Washington.
In Berlin.
A lot of stabbing.
He in Germany. He in Berlin.
Okay, so let's change it. But in London, it's a lot of stabbing over there. It's a stabbing culture.
Right.
You will get stabbed
because they don't have guns. Right.
You will get stabbed up.
In Germany, it's the same way. If you're not military or police, you cannot own a gun in Germany. You have to go through a rigorous vetting to get a gun just to go hunting. If you don't live in a rural area of Germany, you can't, and then you got to go through rigorous vetting to get a gun just to go hunting in Germany. Let me say this. At the end of the day, I don't celebrate the death of no man or woman that occurred by violent means. We all came into this world not of our own choice. We didn't even have a choice with us being created. I didn't put my mom and dad together and say, make me. So let us be more human toward one another and humane, and understand that evil does exist. And as Brother Dwayne said, we need to be taking care of our own houses and our own business. With that being said, let me start off with
Joe,
Sean
this
P.
is a
Sean
quick
P.
statement. I know we closing out. Quick statement. I just want to read this comment.
Okay.
The young man or young lady, I don't know who they is, D, friend D. They said, which is true, it probably was posted by a white person, the whole video and content of what happened to Charlie Kirk. But some way, somehow, we still involved. But that's all I want to read.
Okay, great. Sean, I'm gonna start off with you. Tell us about what you got going with the Griot podcast, the Sean P Experience. Let's get out of here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next Friday, you'll see my flyers going around pretty soon. I have the attorney and author, Mark Torres, talking about his brand new book, Long Island and the Legacy of Eugenics. So once again, this book is a phenomenal book, giving you the long history in this country of violence. And Brother Bowtie just said it, of violence and violent rhetoric, and this word that get used in schools, in textbooks, in universities. This is a common cycle from the late 1800s. So next Friday, 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, Timothy Griot's podcast, YouTube. Find me, subscribe, check me out. I got 100+ interviews already loaded up. Enjoy the weekend.
That's what I'm talking about. Brother Bowtie, talk to me, brother.
What it is and what it ain't and what we're going to do about it. Let's talk about it. Let's do something about it. Look, do not let yesterday affect today or tomorrow. However, though, let your investments from yesterday determine the outcome of how you live today and profit tomorrow. I'm Brother Bowtie. You wish to follow me at Bowtie Untied. You wish to support my business, go to www.brothersbowtie.com. And let me leave with this. We'll be over this in the next day or two. Especially, matter of fact, we'll be over this tomorrow. Football starts tomorrow. It might be over by noon. But have a nice day, everybody.
That part. Listen, family, I'm out here in California with the Southern University Jaguars as we take on the Bulldogs of Fresno State. To all my people out there getting ready for college football this weekend, to my people in Rocky Top getting ready to take on Georgia. Game day is in the building. And to Elijah, enjoy yourself. I remember my ESPN days like they were yesterday. Listen, I got to send a shout out. I normally don't do this, but I'm going to shout it out to a teacher from Indianola doing her thing in Greenwood, Mississippi. Miss Simmons, big shout out to you. Big shout out to you and them cheering. I know she out there teaching them folks, getting our kids educated. So big ups to educators. I normally don't do shout outs, but something in my spirit says shout it out to her. We're broadcasting live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And we'll be back Monday in studio. I'll be flying back and we'll make it back if the Lord say the same. Let me say what I always say to close the show out. Be better today. Be better today than you were yesterday, and do something today to bless somebody somewhere that no matter who they are and how you bless them, you expect absolutely nothing back. You release it freely from your soul, your spirit, and you just give it to them so they can be better. We've got to start doing stuff to want to see folks do better. Even if they're doing better, makes them better than us. Always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. It is Friday, y'all. Friday. Friday. It's the weekend, baby. Y'all be blessed. We'll be back. Y'all catch me. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff out here with Southern. Just keep it locked into all my social media. We out. Have a blessed one. Peace.